Manchester United are looking to bolster their attack this summer by signing Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford, and in this video we're going to be breaking down why United want to sign him and how he could make a big impact at Old Trafford. I've seen quite a few people ask, why are Manchester United looking to sign Bryan Mbeumo for quite big money when they could be looking at signing an out-and-out striker to improve that forward line? Well, the matter of fact is that it's not that simple. Manchester United's problems run a whole lot deeper than just signing an out-and-out centre forwards. It's across that forward line, and these statistics that I've got up here for you really do illustrate that. Man United underperformed their XG by 12 last season. Now, regardless of whether you like or dislike XG, that's a good illustration of how poor United have been in those forward areas. Only Bournemouth, Crystal Palace and Southampton have a worse conversion rate when it comes to changing their XG to actual goals. And as we know, Southampton got relegated in pretty terrible form. It gets worse though. No Manchester United player has scored more than 8 goals this season. Man United, 8 goals. That is terrible. One of them being Bruno Fernandes, a midfielder, and Ahmad, who has barely played this season or has been really injured for quite a lot of the time. Both of them have 8 goals. But it gets even worse when you think the only attacking player to overperform their XG this season was Ahmad with plus 3.25. The rest of them all underperformed on their XG. It's a deep-rooted problem that needs to be fixed by a number of players coming in of a certain level and quality. And this is where Bryan Mbeumo comes in. He has scored 20 goals for Brentford last season with 7 assists. That is a fantastic return, 15 of those goals being from open play and 5 of those being penalties. He has overperformed his XG by 6.37. Now that is a fantastic return, and I wouldn't normally put so much emphasis on XG, but when you consider the amount that United have dropped down, it's easy to see where Bryan Mbeumo could really pick up the pieces and begin to bring that quality to this Manchester United front line. He averages 1.8 key passes per 90. Now, to put that into context, James Maddison for Tottenham averaged 1.3 key passes. So Mbeumo is in that play, he's able to find a pass, and he's able to also link with his teammates, which we'll have a look at a little bit later. He has a goal conversion rate of 24%, and to put that into perspective, Mo Salah last season had a goal conversion rate of 22%. I'm not in any way, shape or form saying that Mbeumo is better than Salah, but it just shows the level that he's performing at and the consistency that he's got throughout the season. 20 goals, 7 assists, a good goal conversion rate, and he will definitely improve the quality within this Manchester United side. So within this Manchester United side, where does Bryan Mbeumo play? I think there's an argument to be made that he could play centrally, but I'm not necessarily sure he's the profile of player that Ruben Amorim will be looking towards for his main striker, so one of the wider areas. On one of these inside channels, in these inside 10s, we know we've got Matheus Cunha here as one of the 10s, which means that Bryan Mbeumo has an option to come in as that right-sided 10. Dropping Bruno Fernandes back, I think, is only going to be a matter of time as one of those main progressors, which means you have Ahmad to contest with out on that right. Ahmad is an interesting player, and I think Ruben Amorim has got something up his sleeve for that, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But if we were to take Bryan Mbeumo in this inside 10 role, he has a number of different qualities to be able to lend himself to this specific role. His link play with the striker to then off of the striker is incredibly crucial, and it's also his running and beyond, which is something that is severely lacking within this Manchester United side. He's very, very mobile, and that is in complete contrast to a lot of these United players. They're very stagnant, they're very haphazard, they're not necessarily too free-flowing. Mbeumo has the ability to pick up those pockets of space and then drive into certain areas, not to mention the fact that he's able to link with players, but it's his game intelligence within these areas that I think will lend himself best to this inside right channel in this Manchester United side. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is a great example of what I think Manchester United and Ruben Amorim are looking for when they're thinking about forward players for their side. And Bryan Mbeumo has all of the hallmarks of that kind of player, and it's demonstrated right here. You've got him more central. Normally you'd expect him to be a right-sided player. Normally you'd expect him to be a bit wider. He's come centrally to close down the space, and this is another really big asset that he has to be able to close down and be good at pressing. Really good in a Ruben Amorim Amorim's side. He wins the ball back and then passes it over to his striker. Remember what we talked about, that link play between striker and one of those 10s. And then it's about him driving forwards, utilising this movement to then drive forwards and take the space that's just in front of him. The moment that he plays that pass, he's not resting on that pass. He's not watching it play, he's not watching it unfold. He wants to take that next movement, and that is crucial, especially with the speed and transition in the way that Ruben Amorim wants his sides to play. He wants them to be fast, he wants them to be intricate, but also making sure that they're clever in their movements, and that is exactly what Bryan Mbeumo does here. He is central here currently, but he needs to find the space. The space is over here, and he is currently not occupying it, so he makes a movement. He makes a dart from inside to that right channel, and that opens up the space and the passing lane for Wissa. Wissa finds Mbeumo, and then it's about him driving with the ball and isolating this space. Due to a great run from the Brentford forward, he's now got enough time and enough space to do what he wants. He's in a 1v1 situation that's about to be closed down in just a moment. So he could go left, but he could also go right. That's one of the great things about him. Although he only has 3 goals with his right foot last season, it's still proof that he has a good shot on him. Although he's predominantly left-footed, he has that ability to go both sides. And it's in this instance, when he does go onto his right foot, that I think offsets the defender and gives him that little bit extra time, that little bit extra space to take a shot, compose himself, and fire it in towards that bottom left-hand corner. It's a great example of a goal, game intelligence, and lethality in front of goal that is something that is severely lacking in this Manchester United side currently. Manchester United's creativity is nearly non-existent, and this is down to a few factors, but one of the main factors, I think, is due to their lack of ability to make the most out of a couple of zones that should lend themselves, in theory, very well to United's system, and those are zones 13 and zones 15, if you're familiar with football zones on a pitch. This is for a wider general video on Manchester United and how Ruben Amorim is going to try to fix that for next season. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below. But when we're talking about these specific zones and this specific situation against Tottenham, Man United don't make the most of this zone, and they don't make the most of these areas, and that's due to the personnel that I believe are in these situations. Because it's not actually the tactics that are broken down, it's the personnel that are failing to really push that idea forwards. So here, what have you got? You've got your 2 10s out wide. They pushed out wide to try and spread this Tottenham back line. You've got your 2 infield players in those 2 wing backs. They've been moved infield to try and take that space, and you've got your centre midfielder who moves forwards, and you've got your striker who's just passed the ball into one of those wing backs. Setup wise, it's very good. It should be able to be pushed forward and then taking space. You should be able to convert this into a good chance, and while they do create something, the chance that they create is nowhere near enough. It ends up being a header from Bruno Fernandes, from a cross from Mazraoui, but they should be able to make so much more of it, and this is where Bryan Mbeumo comes in. The integration of him into this side and his interplay, I think, with Amad Diallo could be the next level to where this Manchester United right-hand side comes forwards. This is where it gets interesting. Due to United's lacking in attacking intent from last season, teams found it very easy to shut up shop against them, condensing the centre of the pitch, allowing for United to have as much space as possible down these wide areas. This is because opposition sides didn't find that United have enough threat down these wide areas. They didn't feel threatened, which meant that they could condense the centre of the pitch, prevent players like Amad from the centre, prevent players like Bruno from getting the ball, and then look to transition. With Mbeumo in the side, what you're able to then do is move Amad out wide as a right attacking wingback. What this is then able to do is give him the license to drive forwards, take that space and run towards the byline. This gives Mbeumo naturally a little bit more space because it drops this defensive back line. All of a sudden, you're opening up a separate channel. You're opening up different opportunities. You're now giving Mbeumo the opportunity to find that space just in front of that penalty area. His quality from crosses is absolutely fantastic, and it gives him the license and ability to either take a shot or look to try and recycle play. It's through this that I think Manchester United could really start to unlock players, but without that quality in the centre of the pitch and out wide, they become very one-dimensional and very easy to play against. Put Mbeumo in the side, and you're looking to up that general United quality across that front line and create a real duality of play between Amad and Mbeumo. The ability for them to both swap sides as well also gives them a number of different avenues to then go forwards and naturally create a whole lot of havoc for those opposition defenders. Do they follow Ama? Do they follow Mbeumo? And the rotation of play and the duality of play could really start to create some exciting opportunities for this Manchester United front line. And it's moments like this that can really showcase and highlight how Mbeumo could fit into a side like United. Take this. You've got Visser dropping a little bit deeper. The Brentford striker has dropped to drag away that Brighton centre-back. This has opened up a channel of space, and it's a channel of space that is then able to be utilised by Mbeumo himself. He's going to find a pass into him in just a moment, but you can really see how this can happen for United. United striker dropping, that's what Ruben Amorim likes, and then you've got runners in beyond on both sides. One taking a more central approach, one taking a wider approach, and then you've got a player that could be the likes of a Bruno Fernandes lying that pass through into the forward player as he takes that momentum, as he takes that space. The moment he gets that pass, it's then about him driving towards that area, driving towards that space that's been afforded to him. The high line of Brighton really giving him this, but also it's his dynamism, its ability to run with the ball, and his explosive nature with that great pass, with that great capability. He's able to drive towards the box, and again, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, his ability on both left and right footed is really, really good. He takes this one with his right foot, fires it towards goal to that left hand side, and gets himself a fantastic goal. And it's really easy through these moments, through what we've discussed, to see why Manchester United are looking to get him and why they are so desperate to have him in the side. He would be a fantastic addition, in my opinion, and I think he could really upgrade that United attack. But of course, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care.